Hi guys, happy Sunday with Satan, and funny that I say that because it is going to be kind of that kind of a day. It has that vibe with it, so, yes, I got a new haircut, so thank you to my amazing, I don't know if my stylist ever watches my videos, but if you do, I love you with all my heart, and I know you'll kick my ass if you ever heard me say that. So yeah, we're the same, so yes. If you do, I love my hair, you always do amazing. But, alright, so, trying to, yesterday, I really, so many videos, oh my god, and translated so much stuff. I found some Romanian books that we had of history, and, you know, when they came over, and, you know, the Romanian side of me, and the Hungarian side, so I'm very borderline Romanian, Hungarian, / Turk, so it's very different. But I did come across a really interesting documentary on Vlad, the real Dracul, which, yeah, Dracula, if you Dracula goulash, if you guys know that, then yeah, it's Hungarian, Romanian. So yeah, borderline, Transylvania, you know, all European, whatever. So yeah, there's just a lot of negativity around Vlad, and literally he's in my family tree in a leaf. So I mean, that's kind of a little creepy. And you know, the documentaries I watched, you know, the descendants of Vlad, and oh wow, the resemblance. I was like, okay, that's my nose. I have that nose. We have the teeth, the eye teeth that are, you know, funky, a little elongated. But yeah, it was just very, you know, back then. That is how, you know, in those times, I don't think people realize he lived in those times when people, your enemies, did something to you, you impaled them. That was the norm. But people make him out to be a villain, and he wasn't a villain, really. Sure, he had some crooked ways, of course. I don't know, up here, if he was all there up there. He had to have ruled the country. For pity's sakes, for God's sakes. I mean, geez. No, I don't want to join the army for Christmas. My iPad just asked me that. So, no, I don't. But yeah, it was just very, very different. Very different. We don't have any pictures of him, so we do not know what he looks like. His castle, you know, is supposedly haunted. The people that are in his family tree are supposedly cursed. Which I could kind of believe in a sense, but, I mean, you know, it's just like, he got a really bad rap for what he did, and he fought for his country, and at that time, that's what they did, so, but it's just very interesting. Romanian witchcraft, oh my god, it is amazing, and, you know, the whole, you know, taxing of, you know, witches, and, you know, their spells, and their magic, their divinations that they do there. I like it. I like that. So, alright, just, you know, some top facts about Vlad the Impaler. So, yeah, obviously, we do not have any real pictures of him. So, alright, Vlad III, Dracula, he was the third. Yes, there were Vlads before him. He was born 1431. 1431. And to 1467. So, was one of the most important rulers in Wallachian history. So, he was also known as Vlad the Impaler for the brutality for which, or with which he dispensed his enemies, gaining him notoriety in the 15th century Europe. But the reason he did that was because they were his enemies, and they were trying to kill his people. He was trying to... It's not like it is today. It was not a democratic society. That's not what that was. So people need to get over the fact that, you know, he did what he did. That's what they did. Look at what the Christians did to the pagans and witches and the innocent ones that were Christians. Interesting, isn't it? So I would really do your research and don't down somebody like this, because this is part of their time. That was part of their time. So that's like me condemning somebody for being a Christian because for some odd reason, yeah, their ancestors killed, you know, the so-called witches and pagans of the, you know, the persecutions. So yeah. Now here are 10 facts about the man who inspired fear and legends for centuries to come. Fear and legends. So, now one, his name really, the family name means dragon, but it also means devil in Romanian. So, the name Dracul was given to Vlad's father, Vlad II, by his fellow knights who belonged to a Christian crusading order known as the Order of the Dragon. Now, Dracul translates to dragon in Romanian. It also translates to devil. So, in 1431, King Sigismund of Hungary, see how close? It's just so close. Who would later become the Holy Roman Emperor, inducted the elder Vlad into the knightly order. And we have some amazing art. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is his father. This is Vlad's father. So it's just very interesting. I love it. I love the history and everything. Yeah, of Hungary. So, okay, so the Order of the Dragon was devoted to one task: to defeat the Ottoman Empire. And his son Vlad III would become known as the son of Dracul, or in Old Romanian, Draculea, hence Dracula. In modern Romanian, the word drac refers to devil, drac. So, alright. And the second fact, he was born in Wallachia, present-day Romania. So, Vlad III was born in 1431 in the state of Wallachia, now the southern portion of present-day Romania. It was one of the 3 principalities that made up Romania at the time, along with Transylvania and Moldova. Situated between Christian Europe and the Muslim lands of the Ottoman Empire, Wallachia was the scene of a great number of bloody battles. So, with that being said, with Christianity and the Christian Crusaders and the Muslims and the Arabs and all of that going on in that time right there, they did not get along at all. So, yeah, again, don't down somebody like, Vlad for what he did. Look at what the Christians did. So, where did I go? Okay, so yeah, it was just a really, bloody battles. I mean, you can only imagine. Now, as Ottoman forces pushed westward, Christian crusaders marched eastward toward the Holy Land, Wallachia, and became the site of constant turmoil. So, it's so closely just with Romania and Hungary. So, 3, he was held hostage for 5 years. So, in 1442, Vlad accompanied his father and his 7-year-old brother, Radu, on a diplomatic mission in the heart of the Ottoman Empire. However, the 3 were captured and held hostage by the Ottoman diplomats. So, their captors told Vlad II that he would be released, on the condition that the 2 sons remained. So, believing that it was the safest option for his family, Vlad II, he agreed. So, the boys were held in a capital atop a rocky precipice over the town of Egrigaz, now Dogrugaz, in present-day Turkey. So, during the 5 years of captivity in the fortress, Vlad and his brother were taught lessons in the art of war, science, and philosophy. Alright, so being conditioned by your surroundings. Simple psychology right there. Simple psychology. However, some accounts state that he was also subjected to torture and beatings, and it was thought that it was during this time that he developed his hatred of the Ottomans. So, fourth fact, his father and brother were both killed. Now, upon his return, Vlad II was overthrown in a coup orchestrated by local warlords known as the Boyar. So he was killed in the marshes behind his house, while his eldest son, Mircea II, was tortured, blinded, and buried alive. Kinda, yeah, with Christian missionaries, or the Christians, the so-called witches, and the pagans in that time, even before, Salem. I'm not even talking about Salem. Now 5, he invited his rivals to dinner and killed them. That is how that worked back then. I don't know why people can't get that through their heads, that is how this worked. That is how that worked back then. If he were here and alive today, he would have to obey by what rules? The rules in Hungary and Romania, depending on wherever he was. So Vlad III was freed shortly after his family's death. However, by then, he had already developed a taste for violence. So, to consolidate power and assert his dominance, he decided to hold a banquet and invite hundreds of members of his rival families. Now, these were the rivals that killed his father and his brother and imprisoned him. So, knowing his authority would be challenged, so he obviously knew that he was going to be challenged because he was the ruler of Transylvania, well, the ruler of, Romania. So, he was challenged. He had his guests stabbed, and their still twitching bodies impaled on spikes. So, that's just how that happened. Look, I mean, worse things were done to the witches by the Christians, so, I mean, people need to really think about that one before they open their mouths. So 6, he was named for his preferred form of torture. Now, by 1462, he had succeeded to the Wallachian throne and was at war with the Ottomans, with enemy forces 3 times the size of his own. 3 times the size of his own. So, Vlad ordered his men to poison wells and burn crops. He also paid deceased men to infiltrate and infect the enemy. How do you pay a deceased person? Okay. So yes, it's gory, yeah, of course, but that is still, again, I will keep repeating myself, that's what happened back then. So, so his victims were often disemboweled, beheaded, and skinned, or boiled alive. However, impalement came to be his killing method of choice, or impalement, largely because it was a form of torture. So, I won't show pictures. I don't even want to see the pictures. So, impaling involved a wooden or metal pole inserted through the genitals to the victim's mouth, shoulders, or neck. Again, that was that time. That was that time period. And it'd often take hours, if not days, for the victim to finally die. Now, his reputation continued to grow as he inflicted this type of torture on foreign and domestic enemies alike. So, I mean, I'm not, condoning or, saying it's okay what he did, because I'm not for war. But that is just how it happened. What he had to do. So, where'd I go? Oh, in one account, he once dined among a forest of spikes, topped with writhing bodies. His penchant for impaling his enemies and leaving them to die earned him the name Vlad Tepes, Vlad the Impaler. He ordered the mass killing of 20,000 Ottomans. They were his enemies. That's what happened. That is just completely what happened. In June of 1462, as he retreated from a battle, Vlad ordered 20,000 defeated Ottomans to be impaled on wooden stakes outside the city of Targoviste. When the Sultan Muhammad II, 1432 to 1481, came across the field of the dead being picked apart by crows, he was so horrified that he retreated to Constantinople. Now, on another occasion, Vlad met with a group of Ottoman envoys who declined to remove their turbans, citing religious custom, as the Italian humanist Tano Buffini described, whereupon he strengthened their custom by nailing their turbans to their head with 3 spikes so that they could not take them off. So it was a little bit gruesome. Okay, a lot gruesome. But that's what happened back then. Yeah, so yeah, let's research your guys' family history. Alright, now number 8, the location of his death is unknown. We do not know where he's buried at all. So, now long after the infamous impalement of Ottoman prisoners of war, Vlad was forced into exile and imprisoned in Hungary. So he returned in 1476 to reclaim his rule of Wallachia. However, his triumph was short-lived. While marching to battle with the Ottomans, he and his soldiers were ambushed and killed. So, according to Leonardo Botta, the Milanese ambassador to Buda, the Ottomans cut his corpse into pieces and paraded back to Constantinople to the hands of Sultan Mehmed II to be displayed over the city's guests. His remains have never been found. So, yeah, look what he went through. Look what he went through from childhood, literally. I mean, within 15 minutes, literally, or within the 6 minutes of the first part of this video. So, 9. He remains a national hero of Romania. So, Vlad the Impaler was an undeniably brutal ruler. However, he is still considered one of the most important rulers in Wallachian history and a national hero of Romania. So, his vicious campaigns against the Ottoman forces, which protected both Wallachia and Europe, have won him praises as a military leader. So, he protected both his country and Europe. Well, I mean, that is part of Europe, but you guys know what I mean. So, alright, he was even praised by Pope Pius II, 1405 to 1464, who expressed admiration for his military feats and for defending Christendom. So he did. He was a Christian. Did you guys know that? Bet you didn't. So yeah, and obviously we all know that he was inspired by Bram Stoker was inspired by Vlad or Dracul. So it is believed that Stoker based the title character of his 1897 Dracula on Vlad the Impaler. However, the two characters have little in common. Although there is no concrete evidence to support this theory, historians have speculated that Stoker's conversations with the historian Herman Bamberger, I was about to say hamburger, Herman Bamberger, may have helped him provide him with information on Vlad's nature. Now, despite Vlad's infamous bloodthirstiness, Stoker's novel was the first to make the connection between Dracula and vampirism. So, literally, that was just what happened back then. That is what happened, what went on. And, you know, people don't like the fact that it literally happened. I mean, people don't like it. And, you know, there's not really much you can do about it. I mean, you can disagree, but it's a very big part of Romanian history. So, alright. Should we do a little coffee talk? Yeah, let's see. But yeah, just kind of getting into my my history a little bit. Kind of seeing what, you know, what did he actually do. So yeah, a lot of people need to be more educated on that, I think. Big time. A lot more educated. So, he was protecting Christianity. That's very odd, is that not? The Pope even congratulated him as a hero. Why am I blurry? There we go. So yeah, I don't consider him, I don't know if I consider, I don't think he's a hero, but I mean, you know, he's a very important part of history, so. But yeah, just really going over and, like, you know, seeing how witchcraft is practiced in Romania. It's very oral, it's an oral tradition, just like, you know, pretty much traditional witchcraft is. There really are not many books on it. The best you can do is, you know, Romanian paganism, which is, you know, like a $45 hardcover book, which is not too bad. But yeah, it's just very interesting. And then, you know, we have the Romanians, and then we have the Romani, so that's, you know, completely different. Those ones come from India. So, but they did end up in Romania, too. It's just really, really different. But yeah, I don't consider him, now that I know more about him, more that I have studied, especially in the history books. Yeah, I think, people don't have to believe what they, I don't care. I'm just, I just think my history is pretty intensely crazy and cool and just kind of fun, and yeah. Okay, Michelle Horn, yes. Oh, the candle, I did. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked it. Diane Hannon, yeah, Chico looking handsome as always. Aw, there's my baby. 34 days of good days with him. We had one little bit of an oopsie, but he was okay. I sat in the bed with him, gave him cheese with his GABA pen, and then he could get up. My Kim Lehman, hi my love, I love you. Aw, glad to see Brittany and Amy with more shout-outs. Yes, they do deserve it. Synchronicity right there. We're still on the same wavelength. Yeah, I do, totally. Brittany Crab and Amy's Crypt, they are two of pretty much the only people that I'll watch now. Besides Lady Locke's Life, Annie. I'm very partial to Annie, because she is the one that really inspired me to start my YouTube channel this big. But yeah, I do love them. Thanks for shouting me out too. I love you so much. Looking awesome as well. That was a great video. Happy Krampus. Oh, I love you so much. Gustavo. Hi my brother, your candles are going. Alright, yep, they are going, and they are going good. Atlantis, thank the stars. Those hearts are for you and Chico. I'm really glad. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Jay Phoenix, shout out, my brother. How are you? The partial sun, hello. I hope I answered your question in yesterday's video. Tina J, hi. Hello, hello. Acosta Studio? Acosta Studio. Hi. Shout out. Skyly Sullivan. Who else? But yeah, I thought it was just really interesting information, and they do incorporate God in Romania into, their practice, witchcraft. It's very different. Still traditional witch, but yeah, I'm just very, very interested in my background right now. Cole McLaren, hello. I woke up at 5 o'clock again today. I don't know why. Got a lot done though. Kim Lehman. Burns. The Dragon TV. Hi Burns. Alright guys. I want to find the comments that my phone tells me it has. But I can't right here. So, I have no idea. No clue. My phone tells me I have 656. I don't know if you guys can see that. 656 something or others. So something is not adding up, or I don't know what's going on with the comments, or whatever. They're probably held for spam, or they probably are spam. So alright guys. Yeah, I actually have family members that I am going to try to talk to, and take notes and possible interview if I can, from the ones that are from Romania. So I really want to try that and see what happens. I think it's going to be amazing. So that's coming. So that is definitely going to come. I will probably have to do the blurry face on them, so if you guys know how to do that, please tell me. Because, yeah, obviously. So, but yeah, I'm going to keep researching, and yeah, I'll get back to, get back to the Children of Cain and the Picking Gill Craft. So, I mean, it does go into Romania too, so that's in there as well. But, alright guys, I love you all with all my heart, all the way from Venus. So tired. All the way back down. And I will see you guys tomorrow. So, everybody have a good day. Please be safe and wear your mask and all that good stuff. And I love you guys.